Hello, and a warm welcome to a new episode of Simply Electric with the BYD Sealion 7 AWD Excellence. And for the viewers who have been following us for a long time, those who have subscribed to us, you might say, hey, you've already introduced this car to us at its premiere in Germany. You're completely correct, and I've made sure to include the link to that video in the description below for your convenience. There, you'll see very detailed information about this vehicle. Today, we're in Munich at Motor World, participating in the Electric Drive magazine's ED 1000 event. The ED 1000 is a rally, and many of you will say, hey, didn't you participate in Düsseldorf last year with the Seal and even win? Exactly, that's what we want to repeat this year with the Seal i7. AWD Excellence, of course. And so that you're familiar with the car when you see the second video, which will follow in a few days. For the 1,000 kilometer challenge, we'll quickly introduce you to the Sealion 7 AWD Excellence, our vehicle for the ED 1000 today. I'd say we don't waste any time because you check if you're part of the Simple Electric community. If not, we'd be thrilled if you support us with your subscription. It's free for you and a huge help for us to grow the channel a bit more. Now we begin with the BYD Sealion 7 AWD Excellence. And as always, we start from the outside, beginning at the front, and take a closer look at the front section of the Sealion 7. Sealion means seal, right, Stefan? But from the front, I think it looks more like a modern electric SUV.
Definitely, yeah.
And it's also very high-performing in design, yet timelessly elegant. You have a really beautiful daytime running light paired with full LED headlights, which also come with the corresponding high and low beam function. And you have a sporty coupe design. Yes, it's 4.83 meters long, 1.92 meters wide, including mirrors. And of course, it also has an impressive height and an impressive stance. Of course, this includes impressive tire and rim combinations. We have Michelin Pilot Sport EV tires here, once again in 245/45 R20 with a nice spoke rim design. Red brake calipers with drilled brake discs because AWD Excellence also means 2 electric motors, all-wheel drive with 530 horsepower system performance, 690 Newton meters of torque, and I can tell you that we'll show you later, this thing goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.5 seconds, you almost have to say. Officially, it tops out at 215 kilometers per hour, but I believe in the review that we filmed during the presentation back then, I believe it went up to 2.27 or something like that. I don't think we can reach that speed around Munich. There are speed limits practically everywhere here. Yeah, sleek coupe lines, and we're totally missing a bold shark fin. Stefan, what's up with that?
Very pleasant.
Is BYD capable of integrating the shark fin and its associated technology into the bodywork, windows, and side mirrors?
Apparently so.
Plus a dynamic rear spoiler, which is aerodynamically designed to ensure smooth airflow, and wear very cleverly indeed. The additional components for the opening have been neatly and effectively concealed. Yes, then a nice separation edge shouldn't be missing here. Stefan lovingly calls it the fries counter, because he likes to. Park his fries there. So to speak, at the self-service counter. Yes, if we take a look at the rear section, the modern design is also reflected here in the back, beautifully done in the lower rear, kept sporty with a slightly diffused look, but all of it is nicely understated so that hopefully it will appeal to many people. We also have LED taillights here at the back, which look absolutely stunning in the dark with a droplet silhouette, and here it's proudly stated once more, 4.5 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Then most of you'll probably say, Ollie, what's the point of all that performance and power? I truly need a practical SUV. So what could possibly be the key attributes in that case? The key features are, of course, as always, the trunk space and its functionality. And now Stefan is going to demonstrate what that specifically means here with the Sealion. Yeah, that's 520 liters of storage volume, and you can clearly see the Dynaudio sound system, which comes as standard, just like nearly everything included in the Excellence trim package. And you have the option to fold down the rear seats in a 60-40 split, though unfortunately without a pass-through, meaning there's no way to carry long items through the cabin. When the rear seat is folded, it expands to 1,789 liters. BYD thoughtfully added a rubber mat to ensure everything stays clean while we're out being lazy. And on top of that, there's a spacious compartment where we can neatly organize and conveniently store various cables and other miscellaneous items as well. Yeah, Stefan, let me guess, it opens electrically, goes up electrically. That's how it should be with the Seal 7, as BYD calls it. And you have the option to mount a roof rack even without roof rails, with a load capacity of up to 75 kilograms. Additionally, for those who enjoy towing, there will be an optional tow bar available to enhance your driving experience. Unbraked, it tows 750 kilograms, braked up to 1.5 tons. That's okay. More is always better than less, but let's leave it at that, 1.5 tons. But with a 150 kilogram payload, you've got a whole lot on board. 4 pedelecs fit plus the bike rack. Yeah.
Or maybe even a box on top for extra space.
If it has a frunk, it's got everything, right?
Nice then.
So excited, Stefan. The city's rear frunk holds 57 liters. A rogue who thinks evil thoughts. Hood lifters, insulated flaps, and of course here, 57 liters of trunk space. BYD truly understands electric mobility, and they know how to make a lot of fuss. Very cleverly and effectively indeed. Very nicely, I think, with this carpet insert. It's great for storing charging cables or even sports gear that's a bit dirty or wet, keeping everything neatly organized and in place. Now let's listen to how a Chinese one sounds, shall we?
3, 2, 1. Full speed ahead right now.
Bet all that's left is double glazing.
Oh, stop it!
2 panels connected with a film that's also standard with BYD, starting at a price of 60,990 euros. If you take a closer look inside here, you'll also be amazed by the premium material mix that BYD provides straight from the factory. Up here, you'll find soft faux leather, padded for those who enjoy leaning in style with a bit of flair. Here's a plastic piece, nicely finished for texture, and here, the door handle to bliss, cleverly tucked away. Here, a bit curved with faux leather running down. Along here, you'll find a nice colored and gray seam. Mirror adjustment, window controls, child lock. But here at the bottom, we have to be honest, it's hard plastic, but nicely textured with a rubber mat inside. Again, the controls for the electric tailgate and the DIN audio sound system for when you really want to crank it up. Stefan, I'd say hop on in. Of course, we'll test it all out together later. Let's take a look at the dashboard, which is high quality and again, nicely covered with artificial leather. We also have this display here in the AWD Excellence trim, providing us with essential information. We have a very nice driver information display that can be adjusted in various levels. The steering wheel can be adapted to our ergonomics in terms of height and reach, also beautifully covered in Napa leather, just like the console cover is meticulously crafted with tactile buttons, toggles, and a rotary dial. Wiper controls here on the right and the turn signal and light controls on the left, both are also very, very well designed. The highlight here is the 15-inch infotainment display, where we've, of course, integrated the fastest processors to ensure all applications can be used seamlessly and without any delays. Featuring a state-of-the-art tile layout with colorful backgrounds, naturally including Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wirelessly integrated Amazon Music is included, Spotify is included, and of course Stingray Karaoke, which is already an evergreen at BYD, where many people love to sing karaoke and can even connect microphones via USB ports. The display can also be electrically rotated from horizontal to vertical, which can be particularly useful when you're driving a long straight stretch in navigation, allowing you to get a clearer and more detailed overview of the route ahead. When you're using infotainment features, you can simply rotate it back electrically as needed. Of course, ambient lighting can't be missing, and here again, the nice plastic design with this chrome line. We have a neoprene-like material here, 2 ventilation nozzles, and the inductive charging option, including cooling up to 50 watts. The only thing I dislike is this small piano lacquer surface. I'd have preferred a different material mix, because piano lacquer scratches, attracts fingerprints, and more. What's really well done, though, is how the gear selector and the parking button stand out like a diamond. We can control the what? Tough word, right? Recuperation in 2 stages, standard or high. We always enjoy driving in the city center, in Munich where we are now, and then there's the mode where we have eco, normal, sport, and snow. That means if you're heading to the mountains for skiing, you also have the option to adjust it accordingly. Plus, there's a rotary knob for the volume control of the music. And then, nicely placed here, we have a dual cup holder, where we can also conveniently store a coffee cup and various other miscellaneous items. And here we also have a nicely padded center armrest, again covered with the finest leather, which can also be opened, revealing a large, deep compartment lined with felt, and there's a rubber mat inside as well, hidden underneath. It's truly fantastic and thoughtfully designed to ensure a comfortable and ergonomic seating position for the driver. Yes, it's 30 degrees in Munich, and as you can see, I'm not sweating. Why am I not sweating? Because there's a glass roof installed here with proper sun protection, so the heat doesn't radiate through the glass like a stovetop directly onto my head, keeping it nice and cool. Huge! That means the rear passengers particularly benefit, especially during a nighttime drive under a breathtaking starry sky. You can open it electrically and close it again the same way, because at 30 degrees in sunshine, it's really nice to have that extra layer of sun protection available. I'm still a huge fan of the electric glass sliding roof. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know if you're team glass roof with sunshade or team glass sliding roof, which, by the way, you could even open up fully if you wanted to. The view through the passenger door offers a really detailed perspective on the ergonomics for me here in the seating arrangement inside the BYD Sealion. 7 really great electrically adjustable seats that you can adjust in every possible direction. Here in the Excellence, you even have seat heating, but also seat ventilation, which is more than pleasant when it's 30 degrees Celsius outside during the hot summer days. The center armrest is neatly divided into 2 levels with a felt-lined space below, ideal for a gentleman's pouch or small items, for a lady's purse, and also 2 USB-C ports as well as a 12-volt outlet, where you could, for example, also run a cooler box. Yes, nice floor mat. Why the carpet doesn't extend all the way up there, we probably already wondered during the driving event.
That's not entirely clear to us.
Yes, definitely. We have a nice glove compartment here, also lined with felt, and down here very high quality with faux leather. Overall, the material mix here is truly outstanding for a vehicle in this particular price range. Just like the seats, they too are upholstered with the finest Napa leather and feature child ISOFIX attachments even on the passenger seat, so we should have a total of 3 child ISOFIX attachments available. If there were another 2 on the rear seat, which we'll take a look at in a moment. Nice support in the lumbar area, excellent support for the thighs, and a really great seat length that's perfect for people with long legs, just like mine. Integrated headrest along with a small shoulder cushion. It's all really thoughtfully and perfectly designed. Now we can really calmly proceed with a thorough check. And now we're moving on to the seating test in the back. I'm 1.85 meters tall, weighing 99.9 kilograms, and we're testing the entry here in the rear, which works flawlessly. Even behind the rear seats, I have more than enough headroom and enjoy a very comfortable, nicely reclined seating position, which I can adjust though, because there's the option here to, if you will, fine-tune the angle of the rear seat backrest accordingly, and it's manually adjustable in multiple stages, ensuring a truly tailored and personalized level of comfort and support. Yes, what's also very nice is the center armrest. Here I have a nice soft padding, again with a compartment, all lined as well, plus 2 cup holders, which I can open and close as needed. And yes, I could almost even take a nice power nap or a little snooze if dear Stefan, like he usually does, of course, always drives us to the events. Yes, otherwise we've got seat heaters in the back here, which are really nice and cozy. In the back we have the option to flip out 2 illuminated USB-C ports here. Flat floor throughout, meaning no tunnel or anything to disrupt it, so you can occasionally drive 3 people out for dinner without any issues. Child ISOFIX mounting points are on both driver and passenger sides. And the rear seat backrest of the front seat is also very, very nicely lined here with the faux leather. We have smartphone pockets, a dedicated slot for newspapers or a tablet. And what we also have is the lining of the exit here at the back. Very, very nice with faux leather. I think there might be side airbags in there as well. Nothing rattles or rustles here. Just imagine if that were a B-pillar now. Hard to imagine, and yeah, the blinds closed now, but here you can fully relax and enjoy the starry sky in total darkness. It's incredible. We've checked the exterior and interior. Let's get to the driving test. We'll take the Sealion 7 for a quick test drive with you, so it's perfectly prepared for the ED 1000. In the next video, let's check out what it can do on the road. I just can't work like this, Stefan. You can't? Look over there. It says 37 degrees Celsius outside. What's going on here in Munich?
I mean,
I feel like I'm doing the greasing here.
yes, good. But air the seats.
It's awesome that the Sealion 7 AWD Excellence comes with seat cooling. The AC is fantastic and cools everything down super quickly. And by the way, you can control all that in the app for preconditioning. That means with the app, you also have the ability to unlock and lock the car remotely. So actually, I think BYD really doesn't hold back at all in this car. No compromises. Yeah.
Is really good.
So you actually get the latest hot topic straight away, correct? Correct. Dot. We've now reached the highway and have activated the ICC for you to check out. The ICC is an intelligent adaptive cruise control system ensuring that you here with the BYD Sealion 7 maintain the lane optimally and effortlessly. That means you've got the steering and lane keeping assist, you've got the ACC, the adaptive cruise control, and it also notifies you promptly when new speed limits are detected. So that you then have the option to presumably adopt them with just a quick button press. Yes, what I'm missing right now is some kind of lane change assist. It seems like he doesn't have that particular feature at all, which means I have to do it manually here. It's not a big deal. Not all vehicles these days come equipped with that feature. But I have to say, it does a really great job of staying perfectly centered in the lane and also maintains the set safety distance, which you can adjust in multiple stages depending on your personal preference. Yes, if you were to set up a navigation here now, so to speak, you can also see the advantage of being able to switch it to vertical. Let's do it by voice. Hello, BYD. Hi, BYD. Take us to Hamburg, please navigate us.
I've got Hamburg set as the destination. Would you like to drive there now?
Okay.
I'll start with the navigation system.
Very good. Otherwise, we always end up heading to Viktualienmarkt 1. That, of course, doesn't make sense when we're here in Munich. A short distance, but traveling all the way to Hamburg, of course, it's quite a bit further away, and you have the option to very, very nicely display the route overview in a vertical layout, making it even easier to follow along with. What we haven't found now, Stefan, we've tried everything, gone through all the menus. It's the load planning, right?
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Would have been pretty cool.
You know, it kind of confuses me a bit because we recently showed the BYD Dolphin Surf, which is a really, really nice compact electric car. Feel free to check it out in the playlist. You'll find it under reviews. It wasn't that long ago, I think about 3 or 4 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's not been that long, right?
And he already had it. So there should definitely be an update coming soon through an over-the-air software update, don't you think? Or what's your personal take on that matter?
Although we did check here for a software update to see if everything was actually up to date. So it should definitely be there by now.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Anyway, it seems like we're completely unable to locate any charging plan in our subject. Here. That means we'll essentially have to handle it manually on our own now. That means we can, of course, then also make use of the available charging stations. Consequently, we can search accordingly. Here we also have a nice overview again, where you can see that he hasn't set up a charging plan just yet. But of course, you can also manually search for charging stations here by using a small filter function. I also find it a bit weak with over 50 kilowatts in an 800-volt system. If it can charge at over 200 kilowatts, it would make sense to maybe select 150 kilowatts so you always find the appropriate fast charging station. Otherwise, you have the option here, and additionally, to search for charging stations in the vicinity. When you're driving the electric S into the city, it's always important that it has a good turning radius, which the Sealion does reasonably well. But even more important is, of course, that you can park it properly. Зрение. И здесь Excellence снова предлагает отличную поддержку с системой камер 360 градусов, которая не оставляет ничего желаемого. With guiding lines, you can very easily maneuver into the parking spot. You can also switch to a three-dimensional view, enjoy nice bird's eye modes, so you can always see where the car is positioned. There's also a wheel function to ensure you don't accidentally scuff those beautiful 20-inch rims. And of course, you also have a 180-degree view for pulling out, which is always important, especially when you're exiting from a row of houses with kids passing by or a bike lane, so you can always keep an eye on everything around you. With chalets, it's truly highly detailed and perfectly resolved in this specific setup here. What's also sick is 530 horsepower, 690 Newton meters in sport mode. Olli pushes the lever on the table and off he goes smoothly here, cruising onto the Autobahn. He always has the necessary power in every situation thanks to the consistently reliable all-wheel drive system. You also have a feature here in the system where you've got an intelligent capability built in. You can adjust the torque distribution, meaning the software essentially decides which of the two motors, so each of the two electric motors for the all-wheel drive system, should deliver the necessary power to always have the maximum torque and performance available. But most of you will probably only use it occasionally, just like the 4.5 seconds from 0 to 100. Because on long journeys, you're likely driving at around 130 kilometers per hour as the recommended speed, so that you don't end up draining the 91.5 kilowatt hours of the net battery pack with the 800-volt system too quickly. With plenty of power, you'll naturally want some for your ears as well, right?
And your car here is really sleek, stylish, and nicely put together.
Yes, I think this is where the Excellence truly shows its excellence, especially musically for the ears, so for audio enthusiasts like us, it performs flawlessly in every situation, loud or quiet, always a nice response in the highs, mids, and lows. And naturally, with the right songs, it delivers a solid kick bass that really stands out. And if it needs to be faster, it naturally has enough power with 530 horsepower, reaching up to 215 kilometers per hour at its peak. We've actually found a spot where we can join you for a bit and help guide you towards the top speed. And there it goes, easily pushing past 220 kilometers per hour. Now, if you want to slow down, you've got perforated front brake discs that deliver the necessary stopping power whenever you need it most on the road. To go in the opposite direction, effectively bringing the car back down to a slower speed. That's important. It's not just about moving forward, but also about being able to decelerate very quickly and effectively in those critical moments when needed. I'd be really pleased if we could make the whole thing a bit more robust. It really delivers, but it also has to manage the vehicle's hefty 2.5 tons and likely with us, approaching 2.7 tons overall. You can adjust it a bit more using the brake booster to enhance precision and control, because we already observed during the major driving review that he truly struggles quite a bit with his mass in those situations. Of course, on our route here near Munich, we also pass by the iconic and venerable Allianz Arena, where the Nations League final recently took place and where, naturally, the German champions FC Bayern Munich regularly play their home matches throughout the season. Looks like a Zeppelin outside, inflatable boat. Yep, inflatable boat. But as I said, design is always a matter of personal taste. Where it also doesn't quite win me over is the suspension, because it feels a bit too SUV spongy and overly soft for my liking. That means it has quite a bit of body roll and lean here with everything open around us, so we were able to briefly simulate and clearly demonstrate that for you right now. Honestly, I'd have expected a bit more rigidity, a bit more firmness and stability overall. I would have liked more comfort. We're in normal mode, not sport mode. Maybe in sport mode it's a bit firmer, but honestly, that's also what I personally, in my own private opinion, generally don't like about SUVs. I'm more of a car person who prefers to sit a bit lower.
Yeah, I'm more in that camp too.
And just imagining us driving to the Großglockner, those sharp turns, the tight curves, it's definitely way more fun in a low-profile car. Let's talk about the travel and driving comfort here in the BYD Sealion 7. And for that, we have an internationally recognized tool to measure and evaluate it. And as we all know, it's Stefan's popometer. We've driven through the countryside, the city, and the highway. What's it reading today again?
Yes, I always start with the seats. So I think for long-haul flights and such, the seats are just super comfortable. They're just really nice seats. I have excellent lateral support. I really like that. For thigh support in the reclined position, I would have liked a bit more. I think it's cool that I can adjust the seat electrically in all directions, including the height. That's totally awesome. I think because it's an SUV and we've already touched a bit on the cornering behavior, you do get a little thrown around inside the cabin while driving here. The seats aren't really ideal for that. But as I said, it's an SUV. I'd rather drive in comfort, and I can do that easily with this relaxed suspension setup. But sharp cornering and all that...
Yeah, I think for the average Joe, it's just a very comfortable travel SUV.
Yep.
That's something to keep in mind. If someone's looking for a sporty SUV, which you might expect with 530 horsepower, this might not be quite sharp enough for that. So, you might have to accept this compromise, having a very comfortable SUV that still manages to deliver sporty performance. And so, I think it's perfectly manageable, since in everyday life, you're mostly cruising around, not taking sharp turns or tackling slalom courses regularly. And with that, let's come to the interim conclusion with the BYD Sealion 7 AWD Excellence. Now, just one day before the 1,000 kilometer challenge, where we're determined to, for you, with you, and together here, successfully defend and retain the title for BYD as well. That's already going to be tough enough as it is, but the Sealion 7 is, in my opinion, truly an outstanding electric SUV. Why do I say that? Well, let me explain. It offers a great price-performance ratio. Even in the top trim, it's 60,990 euros. I think the base model starts just under 50,000, then with, I believe, rear-wheel drive. And a slightly smaller battery pack. But you're getting 4.87 meters in length, 520 liters of trunk space, plus a frunk. That's really fantastic. And in the back, you also have plenty of legroom and excellent seating comfort, making it perfect for longer journeys with Fiat. It's a great balance of space and practicality. Yes, in the end, it could have been tuned a bit firmer for added comfort. You have to be honest about it, but it does come with a lot of features as standard right from the start. And especially here in the top-tier trim, it's pretty much fully loaded, almost pre-programmed.
Definitely. A lot's included, especially for the price.
And it genuinely leaves almost no room for wishes whatsoever. Everything, I believe, is consistently maintained at the highest level, even if we were to find something to criticize here. We can only recommend that you watch the second video to see how it performs over 1,000 kilometers driven in a single day. That follows a few days later. And on the other hand, feel free to visit the nearest BYD dealer of your choice. Take a look at the car yourself, go for a test drive, and get an interesting leasing, financing, or even purchase offer. Because I could imagine that for many of you, it might even turn out to be a real hidden gem as a new electric SUV. And with that, we've come to the end of the video. We've arrived at the Ameron Hotel in Munich's Motor World, where we'll be staying for the ED 1000 event. And in the Motor World, you'll find some really amazing classics as well as modern vehicles. that you can come and check out here. So if you're ever in Munich, make sure to stop by the Motor World for a quick visit. A stunning vintage Ferrari just drove past us. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up and take a moment to check if you're already part of the einfach elektrisch community. We'd really appreciate your support by subscribing. Don't forget to hit the bell, and we'll definitely see you next time. When the next video with the ED 1000 and the 1000 kilometers in the BYD Sealion 7 goes live, thanks for watching, stay healthy, and see you soon, your Ollie.